Lise Spikkeland and I, Bjørn Rongevær, are honored to collaborate with the local government associations in Romania on behalf of KS, the Norwegian Association of Local and Regional Authorities. Their work advancing communes and municipalities in Romania to achieve good governance is important. This short video is produced with the funding from EA grants. It allows us to join you virtually and to share some of KS's work on conflict of interest. Let us get started. Lisa, what is conflict of interest about?
Conflict of interest refers to tension between roles. It concerns councillors and managers. They may face conflict of interest if through a private role they are connected to a decision or related to people affected by the decision. If so, decisions or rulings may be perceived as unfair or partial. Under Norwegian law, you must assess if there is a conflict of interest between your private interest and your public duty. If the assessment detects partiality, you must withdraw.
Okay, can you give us an example? Which relations and roles should we be aware of?
Conflicts of interest can be grouped in three main categories. First, it's parties by blood, by marriage, or by close friendship. Second, assessment of other reasons for conflicts of interest. For instance, you have a private business which is party to the case. And then third, a subordinate officer's indirect conflict of interest due to superior officers' conflicts of interest. If a conflict of interest is detected in a decision or ruling, it will not be valid. Ask yourself what a conflict of interest can be in your local council or in your department. Reflect upon relevant situations, then go on to put in place adequate procedures to identify, manage and resolve those situations.
Very interesting. Why do local governments need to care about conflict of interests?
We need to care about this because there must be public confidence in municipal matters. Elected representatives and public officials must demonstrate integrity. Conflict of interest must be detected. Corruption must be prevented. Fair and impartial decision must be guaranteed. Conflicts of interest as such cannot be avoided. All councillors and staff of public authorities have many roles and interests as citizens. We therefore must identify and be open about conflict of interest at an early stage, even before requested by the public.
Do I understand correctly when it is about roles and acknowledging responsibilities?
Well, clear roles and defined responsibilities are important, as is awareness and understanding of possible situations, and then to be transparent about official as well as private roles. In addition, powers and responsibility must be distributed between positions to create a system of checks and balances. There are distinct roles and responsibilities, for instance, between councillors and municipal staff. Although working closely together, they need to understand the different roles. If at the same time you're a councillor and an employee of the municipality, well, that is not uncommon in Norway, you need to handle and resolve conflicts of interest. What conflicts of interest that will occur?
You said conflict of interest cannot be avoided. Is this a problem?
As I said, conflicts of interest as such is not a problem. We all live in a community, in a municipality with relatives and friends. What is unacceptable and unlawful is failing to declare conflicts of interest. We must have procedures in place to prevent conflict and of interest to happen. I'll give you some examples. a councillor who participates in a regulatory decisions for an area where she resides or owns property. Another example is a councillor taking part in awarding a municipal grant to an association of which he is a member. You might want to think through, could any of this happen in Romania, in your municipality? How would you handle a similar situation? Which roles do you find incompatible in your municipality or in your department?
This is very interesting, but how can conflict of interest be revealed?
Well, governance at the local level follows the principle of separation of functions, with distinction between political and administrative matters. Awareness and procedures to reveal and handle conflicts of interest before it comes as a problem is a better strategy. A system of control is also needed. Norwegian law mandates a control commission to supervise municipal activity on behalf of the council. Its work is central to preventing and revealing corrupt practice. In addition, the top municipal manager reports regularly to the council and must also assure proper functioning of an internal control system.
The mentioned control system is a statutory body. It's regulated by law. Which other tools can be useful?
Well, audit of annual accounts, as well as performance audit in accordance with good local government auditing practice. Then blowing in the whistle, that's kind of control from below. Whistleblowing is about informing someone able to intervene about a local government irregularity. The whistleblower must be protected from retaliation. Members of the public should also have a possibility to speak out if there are any unacceptable behavior by the local government. Another tool is ethical guidelines to put in place and be promoted by the local government. They should include a specification of what constitutes a situation with conflict of interest and how to identify, to manage and resolve such situations. I will now show you a slide. It's the 12 principles of good governance by the Council of Europe. That's also a good base for knowledge and advices. The Congress also have the publication Conflicts of Interest at local and regional levels. It gives valuable recommendations, including clear procedures for identifying, managing, and solving conflicts of interest situation. They tell you to specify, as I've said, what constitutes a conflict of interest. And that should also include challenges connected to misuse of confidential official information or property, acting on behalf of third parties, and how to handle when it comes to accepting gifts and invitations. Then, a few more. You should raise awareness about the issues. You could introduce relevant systems, electronic systems, to simplify how to declare your interests, and a lot more. And some of them I've already mentioned in this presentation.
Thank you, Lise. This concludes our intervention. We have enjoyed addressing you. Should you have any further questions, please leave them in writing with staff present here. Your answer will then be posted on the project's web page at a later stage. Thank you so much and success.